Hey everyone, this is Mike. Today I'm going to be doing a quick look at Dyson Sphere Program. This is a new game that came out in early access a few days ago. I've played it for about 19 hours at this point, and I've been having a blast playing this game. This is right up my alley. If you enjoy Factorio, you'll probably enjoy this game as well, because this game is basically Factorio in space. And the reason why I say that is because we are indeed on a planet, and instead of just launching yourself into space, the whole purpose of this game is to build a fully functioning Dyson sphere. If you don't know what a Dyson sphere is, it's basically a big construction around a sun. So if I twist my camera a bit, you can see the sun and you can see those rings being built over there. Those are currently only solar sails, but hopefully by tonight I'll actually start building the sphere itself. Now, how do you go about all of this? Well, as I mentioned, it's very similar to Factorio. So it's all about automation. At the beginning, you're just going to be using your robot and you're going to click on resources and you're going to mine resources like that. Do everything manually. You can also craft all of your stuff, or at least a lot of your stuff, inside your inventory, if of course you have the resources on you at that point. But automation is key to make things go all on their own, so that you don't have to manually craft everything and that the game can just kind of play itself whilst you work on the next project, so to speak. Another reason why it's very similar to Factorio is these things over here. These are my matrix labs, aka the research labs, which, as you can see on the top right, on the top left, are doing research for me. There is a very big research tree. This is all upgrades, and this is all new technologies that you can unlock. As you can see, there is a lot of stuff that you can unlock in this game, and of course, as more recipes become available, things are more advanced as well when it comes down to what they require. For example, my red and blue ones, those are pretty easy to make. The yellow ones, I only just started making those, so I really need to optimize this so that all of the research labs can do their thing instead of only like 3 or 4 every now and then, because there's not enough intake on the yellow ones for now. But anyways, quickly just gonna go over what the game is about. Some things that you can do. As you can see, this is my, or part of my factory, I should say. This is a little bit later into the game, like for example, that place over there is when I just started playing. If I zoom out real quick over here, this is like the second place that I built. This place is horrible, by the way. But still, there's some method to the madness, I guess you could say. And this thing over here is what I need to optimize a little bit more if I want to get those yellow cubes running, because my yellow cubes are over here. So there's like a lot of place that needs to travel, which isn't really all that optimal. But seeing how this is my first world, I'm just kind of going with the flow, so to speak. And then this thing over here, as you can see, there are some ships coming in and out of the planet. That I think if I zoom out completely, you can kind of see where they are going, because we are actually playing in a solar system, and there are different planets in this solar system. As you can see, I'm on planet 4, this is planet 3, and then we have number 1 and then normally number 2 over there. And number 1 and number 2 have resources that I don't have on number 4 over here, which this was the home planet that I started on. So I was basically needing to go into space to actually get other resources. So when I have my robot and I have myself fueled up, I can actually lift off and I can just fly into space, as you can see. There we go. And then I can just like fly to a different planet, crash land on there. I can't go to that planet because that's a gas giant. And the other planets are kind of far away. So I'm not just gonna fly over there because that would take a little while. But basically you can go to other planets if you need different resources that are not available on your home planet, and then you just install some kind of like an interstellar transport hub, I guess this thing is called, I don't remember the name, or logistics station. And then as you can see, this is requesting all of those materials, and then those materials are being supplied by other interstellar logistics stations on those different planets. So really cool stuff. You can of course automate as much as possible. I'm trying to like figure things out a little bit more as well. Need another research unlocked before I can actually start building the Dyson sphere itself, because as I mentioned, my Dyson sphere at the moment, like I have 2 rings with solar sails. Those solar sails also provide me with electricity, because that's like the whole thing about a Dyson sphere. It's all about creating power for you. But as you can see, Dyson shell, I have not created anything just yet, but I can start like building things once I have unlocked all of that stuff. To actually make my Dyson sphere. But that's stuff that I don't have access to yet. As I mentioned, I'm about 19 hours into the game right now. There's still a lot of work for me to do, basically. A lot of things to optimize, like for example over here, my solar sails are being shot into orbit by these railguns. But for the next material that I'm going to be sending up there to build my Dyson sphere, I need to actually build rockets to shoot stuff into space, because the railguns are not good enough for that. So that's why I'll basically need to have some other things. But I do think that this game is really cool. If you enjoyed Factorio, as I mentioned before, probably enjoy this game as well. It's a little bit on a bigger scale, because of course you're not just working on one planet, but you're working with different planets. It's also really cool that you can see everything in real time. Like, for example, if I look up to the sun, you can actually see all of the solar sails out there as well. If I wanted to, I could literally fly straight towards the sun to also get a closer look of those things. And as you can see, my railguns are now in targeting distance, so they're gonna start shooting more solar sails towards that Dyson sphere, which I have programmed before, because like as you can see over here, I have 2 different orbits set for the solar sails. I can edit the orbits. I can add 20 orbits in total for these solar sails in particular, and then as I mentioned before, once I have my rocket unlocked, I can actually send the Dyson sphere materials up there to make the actual Dyson sphere itself. So really cool game if you like automating games, like if you like Factorio, as I mentioned before. This is very similar to that, from like having to automate all of these things to the research cubes, how all of that works basically as well. But so far, I mean, really impressed. Yes, the game is still in early access. I have not had any bugs or any crashes or anything like that so far. Like as I mentioned, I've already played 19 hours and I'm still nowhere close to being done with the game. And I've been having an amazing time playing so far, a lot of fun. Definitely need to change a lot of things still, because like this is a mess, all things considered, but still it's a lot of fun. I'll basically be changing some things as I go, especially this research needs to be changed, but so far it basically works. So I'm just leaving it go for now and focusing on more important things, like for example building that Dyson sphere, because I really want to see where this game is gonna end basically, and then when I do like a second playthrough, I'll probably try to have things a little bit more optimal instead of like just a gigantic mess. That kind of works anyways. But yeah, so that's pretty much Dyson sphere program. It's all about automation, all about building that cool Dyson sphere, which of course, as you can see down over there, looks quite cool, I think, once that is going to be done. And then that's probably gonna be it. Like, once you build a Dyson sphere, that's pretty much where the game will end, I would imagine. And then you can kind of start like a next playthrough if you would want to do so. But yeah, that's pretty much Dyson sphere program. If you have any more questions about it, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. I've had a great time playing this game. I'll leave a link to the Steam page where you can go buy it as well in the description if you want to go and check it out. I highly recommend you do, because this game has been a whole lot of fun. Of course, if you don't enjoy the genre, then don't check it out, because it is quite unique, because I don't think outside of Factorio that I really know any other game that does something like this. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. I want to thank you for watching. I want to thank my Patreons for supporting me, and I'll see you in the next one.